Hi guys! Hello and welcome to this Mystic Frequency Tarot Pick-a-Pile. I'm Lisa and I'll be your tarot reader today. So in this reading, we will be using the spread that I received in my email from a tarot reader that I look up to and really helped encourage me to start my own channel by watching her and other similar speakers. And she is just one of the many, but I want to recognize her. And if you love watching my channel, you will love watching her content that she creates. Her channel is called Eso Tarot, and I'll leave a link to her channel to, if you did want to look at it, you could check it out. I'm not promoting her, but just supporting her quietly. And I just want her to know that I just love her so much. So what is this reading going to talk about? It's talking about stepping into the new. It's a spread where we are going to look at what steps you are ready to take, what you are ready to release for good, how you should support yourself during this change, the blessings you'll receive for changing, what will remain as you step into this change, and then we'll look at some Scrabble and charms to go with this. But I felt very called to do this really close to the new moon. It couldn't have happened at a much better plan whenever I finally felt inspired to do this type of reading. So new moons, specifically when I am videotaping this, it'll be in January of 2026, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to wait till January comes around again, or that you need to have a new moon in order to take information that resonates with you and do whatever you may will with it. This is timeless. So January 18th is when our new moon is supposed to be here, and they symbolize new beginnings, fresh starts, introspection and reflection, where you're looking inward, you're looking at your intuition, and it's where you can really start planting your intentions, where you take time to sow seeds for future growth. And it really helps you release the old or old versions of yourself. And when it's really dark and you can't see the moon in the sky, that's how you can truly connect with your inner self. But I'm looking forward to it, and I really liked the simple design that I made for this time. But regardless where you are, let's see what our piles have to say. So we have 5 piles here, and this last one will be on my Patreon, which will be in the link below for the description. And Patreon is just one way for me to be able to purchase more cards, to make different types of readings, and just make better content for my collective listeners. But before we get in, I catch myself not really doing this for my collective day piles that I have been creating this month, but just know that I'm always setting benevolent intentions whenever I'm getting all of these piles together or the collective readings together. So let's go ahead and set our benevolent intentions. Benevolent spirit guides, ancestors, divine creator, and the highest good versions of ourselves we can become, please help guide those to choose a pile that will resonate most with them, that will help them embrace stepping into the new, help them experiment and know what needs to be left behind, and reveal what blessings will come from change. Thank you for always guiding and supporting us. With much love and appreciation, your students and teachers. So let's go ahead and do our 3 breaths, because this is a lot to take in. So we want to make sure that we're focusing, we're releasing, so we can receive. So 3 breaths. Let's go ahead and breathe in. Focus. And breathe out. And then we're going to breathe in. And we're going to release. And then the last one, breathe in. We're receiving now. Breathe out. All right, guys, if you are ready for your pile selection, head on over in the description box and I'll see you there. All the pile selections are ready and on standby for you. Hi, Pile 1. Welcome. And welcome if you're coming from another pile. Let's look and see what steps you are ready to take with your crystal icebreaker. So we have Cinnabar, manifestation, wealth, inspiration. Known as the alchemist stone, Cinnabar is a crystal used to enhance metaphysical abilities, call in abundance, and manifest your heart's desire. Cinnabar's name originated from the Persian word meaning dragon's blood and refers to the tiny red gems sprinkled across the stone. This crystal is powerful in enhancing your life force, giving you the stamina you need to carry out your tasks and go after the things that can feel larger than life. Cinnabar grounds and encourages you while you reach beyond what you believed was possible. So you are ready to manifest and alchemize the necessary ingredients in order to obtain anything that inspires you, anything that brings in more wealth, just anything that you are wanting to bring into your life. You are ready to do so. You are not letting obstacles bury you. You are using them intentionally to make you stronger. You're looking at what builds your stamina, whether it be through exercise or through pursuits that are like long-term pursuits. You are taking steps that challenge what you believed was impossible and trying them out for yourself. It's where you are hearing someone say, I can't do that. That's an impossible thing to do. And you are proving them otherwise. You're ready to communicate what you want and will stand behind your voice when you speak. You are ready to hold abundance and actually keep it. So what is this pile ready to release? If they're ready to step into this energy where they are manifesting everything, what are you ready to let go? So we have authority figures. And this is an authority figure or anyone that has been around you that has really put the clamp on your ability to move forward or to prevent, or people just that prevent you from challenging yourself. So this is anyone who abused their power, either with their size, their wealth, the title they had. These people who were not honorable. They didn't make adjustments, or not adjustments, but when they would accomplish something, it wouldn't be for the greater good of someone else. It would be from a selfish place. So you're letting those types of people go. You're letting go anyone who was not a role model or was a coach that made really good judgment. And you're letting go of critics, and not just outside critics. You're letting go of your inner critic here who's been trying to be the one in control, the one that has authority over every little thing that you did. But you're not allowing someone to come in here and control your life any longer. And that is what is amazing about this step that you are ready to take, because you're finding inspiration by being the dragon itself and not letting anyone come within your cave to steal your treasure any longer. You are enhancing your life force, my dears. So let's look and see what will remain when you let go of this change, when you step into this change, what's going to remain afterwards. And we have the 9 of coins and we have justice here. And I love the synchronicities when spirit comes through to provide a mode of soul transportation for you. So the justice is talking about your sense of righteousness, your ability to be this diplomat where you can be fair, where you can be objective and have this need to create harmony and balance in your life, and doing it because it is right, because you trust your integrity, you trust the truth of everything that is revealed to you, and only accept the truth. And while you are exemplifying, amplifying the justice, you are much more gracious. You are much more forgiving and compassionate to those that need that little extra support. But this is your higher knowledge that's staying here. It's where you have this connection to your intuition and your wisdom. And the part of you that remains is the part that wants to teach, that wants to lead, and set self-examples. It's being a part of the resolution and progression, not part of the ongoing problem. You don't want to be a problem for others. You want to be the resolution when you walk through a door, because people go to you for advice on all sorts of different matters or subjects. It's almost like you are so overqualified for this. You are qualified to take control when other people cannot take control. You are the judge to people. And you're leading by this example, and you're being the change that you wish to see. And that's what's going to remain, is seeing this vision where you are all seeing, you're curious, you analyze everything you are doing, and you are practicing being prudent in your dealings. And you're seeking to understand others before you're judging them off right. You're definitely someone that I would love to be around, because I care a lot about equality. I care a lot about balance and harmony. And you are someone that really knows how to do that for yourself when you haven't been able to manifest your life because of these controlling frequencies that may have been around you. And with the 9 of Coins, with justice, you're focusing on what makes you more intelligent, what makes you more imaginative, where it gives you more energy and helps sustain the effort on creating and starting any kind of plan or goal you have that is meaningful in the long term, where it's meaningful to you and gives you ambition. This could be health, wealth, work, home, your finances, really anything that means something to you. You're not going to lose sight of that. It's an idea that will take time to manifest. If you're trying to create more balance and integrity in your life, it takes time to be that type of person where you're doing the right thing even when no one is watching. It's looking at the here and now actions that will help you. It's where you look at the scales that are in your hand and determine, okay, this person is taking on more than they should, and it needs to be released. And then you kind of feel the scales kind of tip. It's like you show other people the imbalances that they have around them. And now your guides are wanting you to keep this part of you. Do not change the part of you that sees these types of injustices. This talks about an old soul, someone who is a humanitarian that sees the needs of others and wants to provide a solution to that need. This is the deep thinking artist. This is the philanthropist. This is someone who uses life experiences to make leaps in their world that is around them, with their home, their health, really anything that you want to see results in. You care a lot about results, quite a bit. If you realize something is not going to return back to you, that's when you pull everyone in, pull everything in, and make a judgment call there. So how can you support yourself during this change that you are stepping into? I'm going to go ahead and put these up here. So we have Teresa and we have Rochelle. Teresa says, time out. You've been so busy taking care of everyone else's needs, but now it's time to stop and take care of yourself. Take care of yourself when you have been bringing balance to everyone else's world, when it feels as if there is no rest. There is time for rest, and this is where you need to be resting, so you can give your inner child the nurturing it needs in this moment, especially if you have been creating a balanced harmony since your childhood because of the authority figures that have been around you. Your inner child needs to feel safe, and it needs to feel as if it doesn't have to constantly do and provide for those who cannot do that for themselves. Excuse me, as I lose my voice. Don't allow yourself to lose your voice. Don't allow yourself to be scared of speaking up about the things that you need. Give yourself permission for a time out. Permission is so important, especially when you're the one giving yourself the permission. Allow yourself to nap or allow yourself to play and do the things that you enjoy doing. Whatever your inner child may say at this moment is really what will tell you what you would want to do. Trust your responsibilities will be met by those around you. Or even if you know that you don't have anybody that can take over this responsibility, if you allow yourself to rest, this will resolve itself. When you take a time out, you will be able to finish it a lot faster than you thought you would. New energy and ideas will come from this, so delegate and ask for help, my dear. Ask for help when you've been the authority figure for too long, and it's not fair to you. Rochelle says, as you honor and follow the guidance of your hat. I was looking at her hat. As you honor and follow the guidance of your heart, prosperity is coming to you now. Release negativity around money, because finance is kept being repeated here, where it's like something is in the midst. You may have a justice battle that is presenting itself around you, where maybe you had to divide something up and you're worried that you're not going to be prosperous after this. Whatever the case may be, if you're worried about your finances or worried that you're going to have something taken from you, release that negativity and think about how your energy is a form of exchange. So what can these be? So if you're trying to find ways to pay someone back because you're like, oh my gosh, I got to pay them back. I've got to be able to reimburse them for the help they may have given me. And you may have had issues asking for help because you were worried about how you would be able to repay others. And one way to support yourself is to trust that there is other ways that you can repay those around you with either your knowledge or skills, and the ability to be emotionally supportive to those around you, and just really providing in ways that may be unexpected, whether it be through babysitting, taking care of someone's home, just small things that add up over time. Release guilt around money, just really anything that has to do with finances. Just release any kind of guilt you have. You can help others without needing to give money or all of your energy away. Let people and angels and your spiritual team, your guides, give to you more and to let others contribute to you. And one of the self-love care affirmations they want you to tell yourself is say one loving affirmation to yourself. You may have not been very tender and you've had to be this very stern person, even though you wanted to be soft, even though you wanted the ability to relax. And there are days that are really hard to find the love within you when other people have been coming in and taking that love away from you. And so if you need one loving affirmation to say to yourself, I love myself even when I need to rest. I love myself even when I don't have all the information available in front of me. I still love myself for the decisions and the verdicts I make, even if they're hard on myself, or even if they're hard on other people. The verdicts I make are for the greater good of the people I am around. But the people that you had to separate from your world, that doesn't mean that you're not loving. You are loving by taking care of yourself. The blessings that you will receive after stepping into this new is you will be very liberated. You will be freed from this by changing and keeping the things that make you more honorable. I am wonderful. Yes, you will be Wonder Woman, I heard in my head. You are Wonder Woman by being free, and you are fabulous. You will be able to dress however you feel. You won't have to worry about how other people think about your clothes or think about the things that you're working on. The things that make you feel and look good will be very key here. So that way you can keep telling yourself these loving affirmations that mean the world to you. And I'm going to go ahead and flip over your tiles. Now, your tiles were a little hard for me to kind of look at, and I had to get real creative. Oh my goodness, Spirit. I'm having difficulties trying to turn these tiles over. Okay. So we have easy, pile, and then T. So I want you to try and start picking up things that are a lot more easier for you, even though you do have this ability to pick up harder things that are much more difficult. I want you to lean on those so that way they can grow and develop their own strengths. So you're not the one always flexing your strength in these matters. And really look at the piles that are around you that require a lot more intelligence, that require a lot more that just really put a lot more burdens on you than they should. And tea, for whatever reason, I feel like it brings back that need to relax, need to have like a cup of tea in your hand. It could be coffee, anything that has like caffeine in it. Find ways to give yourself easy energy where you don't have to do so much, but easy energy for easy tasks, easy piles. But I love that this came out the way it did. But you've been so busy taking care of other people's needs. You've been so busy being the judge, the justice system, when it feels like there isn't a justice system. And your guides want you to release control. Release your need to control So that way you can start building the abundance that you need in your life, the things that you want to attain. But let's go ahead and jump into your charms. So we have this bag here. And this may be something that has been really hard for you to let go and trust that there are people around you who can step in to help. But you need to think about what you need to be releasing, what you cannot carry in this new moon energy into the full moon for the next month, and see what you need to empty out. So that way you can bring something else in. And these eyes and this baggie were stuck together when they came out into your pile. Really look closely at the way you have been able to break bonds, break chains, break habits, and give yourself that love that you need for doing this. But don't carry these cycles with me, because it almost makes me feel as if like, okay, well, I'll leave the bag here, but you're trying to carry a lighter bag with the same thing in it. But these chains are broke. There's no reason for you to keep carrying them when you've already mastered them. And this doll right here talks about the shadow self working through parts of you that you tend to hide from others, that you only express to either just yourself or those that are closer to you. But the shadow self comes out when you have been neglecting your body's needs. And so Teresa came out, and this shadow doll came out. So listen to what you need to make you more stable, what makes you more grounded, because we have the red colors here. You want to find stability and structure. You want to be able to keep manifesting, but you can't manifest if you're constantly having to rebuild your world. And then the last charm is this forgiveness heart. And it's also talking about your chakras and what you need to be developing and working on. But you need to allow yourself to bring forgiveness to come in here, especially when you had to take on a role that you should not have had to take on at such a young age. And give what was not given to you to yourself. But that is your reading, my dears. So I am looking forward to see the new that you are stepping into, and the fact that you are bringing justice into this world. And you may feel as if you are having to let go of that control, but that control is helping you balance so much more in your life. But I'm going to go ahead and end it here, my dear piles. Thank you for watching and listening. Let me know how it resonates, and like, comment, and subscribe to see more content like this. But I'm going to go ahead and head on over to the next pile. Hi, pile 2, and if you are coming in from another pile, welcome again. Let's go ahead and see what steps you are ready to take with your crystal icebreaker. So we have Septarian, direction, fearless, communication. Known as the Dragon Stone, Septarian instills fierce confidence and self-esteem, especially in front of an audience. However, as much as it improves your public appearances, it also protects your privacy, guarding your secrets and valuing your inner space. Incredibly grounded and connected to the earth, Septarian can pinpoint illnesses in the body and focuses on listening to the body's needs by building a strong relationship with it. The name Septarian comes from the Latin word septem, or 7, signifying the pattern of 7 on the exterior of the crystal. So what are you ready to step into? Well, you are ready to step in with much more confidence in your actions and in your endeavors, and you are looking towards ways that will help you strengthen your self-esteem and the way you perceive yourselves, and not so much allow your self-esteem to determine how people view you. So you're able to really stand in front of others and hold your own light. You're protecting your secrets and your privacy. So while you are working and you're stepping into the new, people are very curious about what it is that you've got going on, but you don't want to reveal it. It's almost like you want it to be this magical transformation where overnight you just blossom and bloom and people are just left wondering and all, like, how did you even do that? Well, you're doing that because you are valuing your inner space and your core being by putting these boundaries around you. And you're ready to really start listening to what your body needs, what your mind needs. And because this is the number 7, and you can look at it and it's making the number 7 just every which way and turn, but you're really reflecting during this new moon, and you're making these assessments based off of the things that you did as like a trial and error. And it's really helping you grow and be more understanding about your needs. But what do you need to release in order to step into this? Let's see what your guides have to reveal. So we have wars and battles. You're releasing conflicts that are not your own. You are not going to just jump into someone else's drama and try to be the one that saves the day for them. Yes, you have the confidence to deal with this situation, but you're finding that by being involved with everybody's issues depletes your own energy and your own time, and you find that you're wasting your efforts, especially with people who keep, because in order to win a war, you have to win battles. So it's like you're saying, if I keep coming into this energy over and over and over again, I am not going to win the war for anybody. Those are their own battles, their own wars that they need to be figuring out for themselves, because you have your own battles that you are trying to overcome. But this can talk about also the guard that you keep up always, or when you find yourself in situations where you may have this may be for a select few, but if you have like post-traumatic stress disorder, if you have anxiety, if you have anything that keeps you on edge, you're going to find ways to kind of release that so you're not on guard. And you're releasing those who cause more harm than good, especially when they make you feel more separated, or they make you feel more divided. They make you feel as if you need to choose one side or the other. And you don't want to be separated. You want to be able to see what is causing the conflict at the heart of the matter and be able to work on that, and not what everyone else is fighting for, because it looks like everyone doesn't understand what it is that they are fighting for. It's like they heard I think say, this is why we're doing it, and then everyone was like, but that's not what I heard. I heard that we were doing this because it gives, and it's like everybody has a reason for the reason why they are fighting, and you are not taking someone's fight into your own and making it your reason to be fighting this battle. You're looking at anything that has brought turmoil, anything that has brought grief or anger, or these wounds that feel like they never get to heal because you're constantly having to open them up and remember and reflect. So if you needed to talk about something that you may be releasing, is the constant need to go back to this energy right here, because you realize it's not serving your highest good, and it's making you feel like your inner space is a battlefield. So what can we do to support this energy? And in the last reading, I think I did it a little bit differently, but I feel like for this pile, you need to have the support, since we have the battles going on. You instantly need some support. So Oceana says, take action. You are in touch with your truth in this situation, and you need to trust your gut and lovingly assert yourself. If you feel like you need to assert yourself in this battle for your highest good so you can actually put an end to it, then do so. Speak your truth. Trust your gut. Assert yourself if it's going to help you bring peace. There's no more need for researching. It's where you're just trusting your feelings. You don't need to do anything else. And to support you through this, avoid procrastination. So this means avoid not talking about this. So if you have difficulties talking about trauma, or if you have difficulties talking about what deeply upsets you or brings out the worst in you, don't procrastinate on that and actually start speaking to someone, whether it be a trusted friend, family member, a therapist, or just anybody that may be going through this exact same thing, and showing up, and that way you don't feel as if you're separated. And if you are someone that was in the military, thank you so much for your service and for guiding and protecting those to this day. And I want you to feel that need to just release what you need to release, so that way you don't have to carry this wound any longer. But avoid procrastinating. You're not going to heal if you run away from this. Break it down into smaller steps so you won't be overwhelmed. Where you can take, and I spoke about this in one of the other piles. I don't remember, was it pile 1 or was it pile 5? I don't remember. But take regular intervals where you are slowly walking through these open doors. You're not stopping. You're not trying to charge ahead like these individuals are. You are taking the information you have gained in this moment, and that information is what's making you sure-footed, where you know what you are stepping on is not going to fall or crumble beneath you or explode in front of you. And don't let guilt drain your energy and happiness. Don't let you... It's like you're trying to do something right for yourself and you're starting to feel really guilty about doing that. And you've been given people the time and day, and now you need to give yourself the time and day that you deserve, because your energy and happiness matters too. And the affirmation Oceana has to say about this is to repeat to yourself 3 times, I love you, and then add your name. I love you because you are strong. I love you because you are able to resolve conflicts. I love you because you have this ability to make a call based off what you can see visually and based off of what you have learned before. I love you because you do take action when others cannot. If you needed someone to tell you that, I'm telling you that now. The blessings you're going to receive by stepping into this change, by bringing in this new energy, we have, I am prosperous. I am much more prosperous now that I'm taking action on my life. I am very optimistic. I allow things to light me up and see the good things in life and not let these wars and battles really sit in my mind. And I am love. I am the definition of love. Even when I have to fight, I am doing this for love. I am doing this for protection. I am doing this so there can be more prosperous times, so there can be more optimism in my life. I'm doing this so that way I can continue to see my worth each and every day and tell myself the reasons why I love myself, even if I have to be hard. But you are the definition of love. So what's going to remain? We've seen what we had to release. We've seen the steps that we are ready to take. So what is going to remain for us as individuals, for you, my collective? Well, we have the Ace of Cups and we have the King of Swords. you're going to have a lot more control of your mind and emotions. You're going to have a lot more control over your relationships and who is allowed to be around you. You'll take action on new love, on new friends, being more romantic, being creative, maybe even bringing in a pet with you to help support you during those dark nights, if I can speak. This can talk about the birth of a child. This could be talking about a family member who brings great joy. This is someone you are trying to become, and these are the type of people that you want to have with you at all times, that fill your cup up, who will not pour you out every time you pour into them. This talks about success and prosperity. So being more prosperous, that's really what's going to remain the same, is seeing how abundant you are around you. And your cleverness will remain as well. Your ability to be very clever, to analyze, to make that sound judgment, where you can give valuable advice. You're a lot more fluid with your logical thinking. Like, you're able to change based off what is revealed to you, but you're going to be more focused and at your intellectual best, because we have the King of Swords here. So what's remaining, my dears? Well, what's going to remain is your ability to love and show your willingness to fight for the things that really do matter to you, and how you are not going to block yourself off from your emotions and actually trust your intuition when your spiritual team comes in with an offer. You're going to see what helps you become the definition of love, and you're going to feel so much more optimistic after this. But let's go ahead and look at your Scrabble and charms, and I'll get them placed on the board in just a second. All right, here is your Scrabble and the few charms that you have. I was actually really surprised when Spirit only gave 3 charms, but I feel like you're someone that doesn't really accept gifts, if I'm being honest. You're somebody that tends to take words of affirmation a lot better than actual physical gifts. But let me go ahead and talk about this in case you don't know what this says up here. So I took 4 years of Spanish in high school because at the time I wanted to be a teacher, and I wanted to be able to help assist children who whenever I was in elementary school, we had these kids that came from Mexico and they didn't know any English, and so they were kind of like left outside, and so they had their own group of friends that spoke the same language. And I remember wishing I had the ability to be able to speak to them so that way they felt included. And so I took 4 years of Spanish because I wanted to be a teacher that had this ability to speak to her kids wherever they may have come from. And this means da regalo, which means it's a gift where you are being given a gift or gives a gift. You give gifts to other people. And they want you to find ways in which you can give yourself a gift. Yes, it may be affirmations where you need to hear yourself say, I love you because, and then fill in the gap, fill in the space, fill the parts of you that may feel empty, and allow others. It feels like people have been trying to come in here and actually give you things, because we have the Ace of Cups here, and you turn them down. It's almost like you say, I don't need anything. You're good. You're good. But be more accepting. Be more receptive. Allow yourself to let people come in and emotionally support you, especially if you have this knack for cutting people off. And so let me go ahead and talk about your charm. So we have this lion here, this Leo, this person who has a lot of confidence, that can speak with authenticity, who can communicate what needs to be done, and has no problem standing in the spotlight. This person, or this charm here, is wanting you to see that your presence is a gift. And I know that's such a cliche meme to talk about, but your presence truly is a gift. You make people feel prosperous by being around you and optimistic. And they want you to see how this is who you are, but sometimes you're this messenger that sits on people's shoulders, trying to guide them through their battles. And this golf ball, it was on the Diablo side. It's knowing the habits and choices that you have made in your life, the dances that you've had to dance, and acknowledge and understand why those beats that you were dancing to were not for your highest good. So the drum that you were marching to, and seeing how it may have took you many times to come to the conclusion that you were never going to be able to keep going at this alone and sink the golf ball, if that makes sense. So to play like putt-putt or golf, you have to strike the ball and determine what the best next move would be. Sometimes you have to lean onto the supports that are around it to make the shot where it ricochets off it. But look and see what you're making a dent in. And if you're not making a dent in something, let that be your sign that you need to let it go. Be patient with yourself. Be patient with all the dimples and the marks that you have, that you've obtained in this life, and acknowledge them and really see your scars as being these trophies of survival, these trophies. And I'm not talking just about physical scars. I'm talking about mental, emotional, any kind of scar that has manifested and created these dimples. Allow yourself to see them as trophies of persevering, of making it through despite all odds. And this is actually my grandfather's watch that he had given when it was before he had passed away, and he started giving away these gifts so that way we had a piece of him to remember by. And this is a 12-hour interval watch where you have to reset it every 12 hours. So what are you resetting, or how can you encourage ways to reset the button, to go back and reset and see each day as a gift, and each day is one new thing to accomplish, and to not let what happened in your previous day, whatever happened from last month, last week, whatever the case may be, last year, allow yourself to actually try something new, to take in more fulfilling connections. But I love that my grandpa's watch came through, and it's just awesome whenever. And my grandpa was one of those people who he was in the army, and he was in the Korean War. And when he came back, he did 8 years, mind you. And then, like, my grandma and grandpa, yes, they were dating, and my grandpa wanted my grandma to marry him, and sent her a jewelry box from Korea. And she told him so long as he was in battle, so long as he was in war, she was not going to marry him. And so I wonder if my grandpa would have stayed in the army even after that. But he loved my grandma and wanted to be there with her and develop the relationship that they have cultivated, that they were married for like 55, 60 plus years. They were together for a very, very long time. and they didn't have children until my grandma was 27, because that was around the time when my grandpa had left the war. But you can't bring your battle and your war into these relationships that are trying to come in. They want you to find ways to let them go where they need to go, so you can be more authentic with yourself and others. But that is your reading, my dears. I enjoyed this reading a bunch. If you want to see more content like this, please like, comment, and subscribe. I enjoy these pick-a-pile readings. And just let me know how you're doing, guys. Let me know how the new feels for you. Hi, Pile 3, and welcome if you are coming in from another pile, my friends. And let's go ahead and see what steps you are ready to take with your crystal icebreaker. So we have the Golden Healer, abundance, expansion, golden rays. Universal life force flows strongly with the Golden Healer. With an exceedingly high vibration, Golden Healer carries bioscular waves, an abundant form of power that increases in spatial mass. This potent energy can expand awareness across multiple dimensions, transforming your vibration all the way down to the cells in your body. Connected to the solar plexus, this stone allows the highest form of healing for your identity and self-worth, releasing ancestral trauma that may have affected you and been passed down through your family lineage. So what are you stepping into? Well, you're stepping into a higher vibrational energy that will hold you. You're allowing yourself to step into your power, where you have more awareness of all the actions that you are doing that will enable and help you transform anytime you need to go through a rebirth or to become something different. You're healing your identity and your self-worth. You're seeing that you are a worthy person and you do not need to be defined by someone else's words. You define yourself with your own words. And you're finding ways to release any kind of ancestral trauma that may have occurred in your life, or it occurred when you were much younger. You were letting disappointments go. You were letting memories where you didn't feel like you had power, that you were weak, that you just had low energy. You're just letting those things to go. You're letting those, if I can speak, but you're releasing what you shouldn't be carrying any longer. So what do you need to be ready to release for good? What are you ready to release? So we have love life and we have knighthood. So this is somebody that feels like they had to play a certain role, that they had to be a specific type in order to obtain the love that they want. They felt like they needed to really fight for it and almost sacrifice yourself to a point. And when you are finding that you are sacrificing your overall well-being, you are diminishing your self-worth by acting like that. You're putting someone else on a pedestal and choosing to give up your life for this other person who may not do the same for you. And you're having to let go of the need to be that kind of person. Yes, it's good to, want to hold the door open for someone. It's good to want to pay for someone's meal. It's good to just want to take care of another person, to protect another person. But you understand that it's important that you need to receive that as well. Chivalry does not have to be for men. It can be for women as well, where you have your king and your king is being taken care of your queen and your queen is being taken care of with your king. It's that kind of thing. You are releasing these social norms that have been placed upon you, where you were told, well, you have to be the one to ask this other person out. You were the one that has to get on your hand and knee and ask for their hand in marriage. It's It's like anything that tells you this is how you're supposed to be is what you're trying to let go. And you're trying to release any kind of love life that did not become fruitful, where it's just like they threw all the candy and the chocolates down. They threw all the flowers you gave them, and all the flowers just ended up dying and wilting. You're trying to let go of that. And you don't want to lose the part of yourself that is so nurturing and giving and loving to other people. Don't let people who trash this part of you prevent you from being like that. It's having balanced expectations. It's knowing that you can't do all the work yourself. That's what you're realizing. You're realizing it takes two to do the tango. It takes a lot. You can provide more security and stability by working with those that are close to you. And you don't need to go at it alone. But this does look like a dark night. So whatever dark night of the soul that you need to face and vanquish, you need to do it with the thought of, this is how I'm going to find a sustainable and loving and fulfilling relationship, not just romantically. It can be platonically and with those that you are around. But you're looking at the things, your shadows, that tend to come out when you aren't able to give much more of yourself. Let me go ahead and push this up here, and your pile has a lot of charms. All right, so what can help you? What can help support yourself during this time? Because it's like you don't want your love to be dead. You don't want chivalry to be dead, but you also know that you need the balance. So how can we support this? So we have Daniel. And Daniel says, I am the angel of marriage, and I am assisting you right now. Daniel is this angel that has the ability to heal past wounds related to marriage. Maybe and this can even be talking about your parents' marriage. This can be talking about your siblings' marriage. Anybody that has had a relationship around you, you have watched how they have dealt with it, and they want you to see that not everyone's relationship ends the way it does, or even begins the way it does. So healing past wounds related to that, pain towards your parents. He really wants you to breathe out any kind of negativity or any negative emotion that prevents you from being in a high vibrational energy. And look to your first love and how that worked out, and then the previous relationships that may have occurred after it, and see if there are any lingering pains that you may have where it felt like you were just going to stop giving. And just let your heart be free in this moment to explore again. When you are supported, and one of the things that Daniel wants you to support yourself with a self-care oracle is to sit up straight with your shoulders back and allow yourself to shine with confidence. You're this knight that has this shining sword, but it's like this is the only thing you have because the rest of you is no longer shining. They want you to stand up straight. They don't want you to feel like you have to put a weapon in front of you to prevent someone from coming so close to your heart. And just be confident. Confident that you can have a successful love. You can obtain a happy marriage, a happy, fulfilling connection. Those are things that you can have. Those are things that you can expand in. You can have this type of abundance if you are looking for it. You just need to, don't kill yourself for the wrong people. Don't kill yourself at all, for that matter. But See how you can provide those balances and always lay your expectations out, or not your expectations, but like what you would want in life, especially if you are starting a new relationship, when you're going into this new step. If you want a family, explain that. I would like to have a family. This is how many kids I would like. And, or even say, I come from a split family, or my family does have a lot of things that they have to work on. It's whatever the case may be. You may not come from a split family, but be open. Just allow yourself to be open for love to come in. Release old loves. And so that way you can really, and if you are in a relationship already, this is just saying you're wanting to go further with this because you have seen that you've had the best brought out of you, where you can be confident with this individual next to you. And now you're really thinking about what would marriage look like, and not allow that to scare you, not allow you to think about how it may or may not have worked for another person. The blessings you will receive, you've actually got 4 that came with your pile, is you will be a lot more trustworthy with those around you because you've laid out the standards. You've laid out how you expect to be treated, and you stay close to your word. You mean everything you are going to say. It's like you your honor, your name is your honor here. You'll be a lot more joyful. And I love that because Daniel really will show you the joys of being in a fully committed relationship. Yes, it takes a lot of effort, but so long as you stay true to your word, you will have great things. You are in alignment with the universe because you have this vibrational energy coming through that is, it's not just expanding in just one dimension. It's expanding in multiple dimensions and bringing awareness to all those that are around you. That way you don't feel like you're stuck with the only people that you are around. It's like there are people outside of your work. There are people outside of your school. There are people outside of your city, your town, your state. There is so much love out there that you don't need to confine yourself to what you are limited to. And you will be much more playful. You will have a lot more energy to be playful with this new energy coming in. But you're stepping into this confidence, and I really love that. And you're taking your power back. You're taking your knighthood back, where you're going to be chivalrous to the right people. So what's going to remain as you step into this change? Now, don't be scared when you see this. So what's going to remain? You're going to be watching and being on the alert for someone who does not have your best interest at heart. You're always going to be thinking about how you can heal from these past incidences that have occurred. And even if you step into a relationship and it does not go accordingly, you will become you will be able to heal from it. You're going to remove toxic people, situations from your life for good. You're outgrowing your circle. So me talking about, like, if you thought you could only pick fish from the bad barrel, if you were to realize that there is a much bigger lake, a much bigger river, a much bigger ocean for you to be able to explore in, where they won't do this to you. But allowing yourself to find new scenes. It's like from this break you get, you see something new. And you will be able to leave those with a clean break, where you don't feel the need to explode everything out. Really, you leaving, people don't have a negative thing to say about you because you are chivalrous, because you care about other people feeling comfortable. You care about opening doors for other people to walk through. And so you're trustworthy and you're in alignment with the universe and your integrity here, that when you have to leave something, people don't have a negative thing to say. And that's wonderful. But let's look and see what your Scrabble has to reveal for you. I'm sorry, y'all have so many charms. You're so charming. You're a very charming person. I'm sorry it takes some time to like really unfold all this. Okay. So your guides want you to really hone in on one type of frequency, one noise to focus on. When there's so much going on around you where you can't trust what you're seeing, where you can't trust what you're feeling, when you trust not in your ears, it almost seems like, but there is something that you can trust, and that is the frequency at which you are growing in. And they want you to hone in on that and see how everyone else's, this is the E, see how everyone else kind of like matches their own pitch, their own noise, and determine if you're only allowed to speak one word or speak in one tone only, and everyone else gets to be excited about their things. Everyone else gets to feel playful. And if you feel like you can't be playful, that you can't talk about your good day, or when you have heartbreak or you go through pain or just have the hardest time rising up, let that be your indicator about who should not be around you, because you should be able to express yourself not just with one noise but with multiple different types of sounds. And the main noise you should be matching yourself is where you feel like you are in alignment with the universe. But let's go ahead and look into your charms. And I'll start with this ring, and it's like making a commitment to a higher, it's finding thankfulness to the divine. And I will try to read this best I can. You don't have to have this religion or necessarily need to believe in it, but it's just a prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. The kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever and ever. Amen. So there was betrayal here. If there was someone that took advantage of your heart, for one, they want you to be able to release that and not make you the evil person, and to not even feel the need to even express the need to do something about this thing that someone may have done. Their actions, they're able to create their own disasters, if that makes sense, by being who they are. And I feel like I need to kind of like, because it talked about trespasses. Always remember, if someone is offering you a hand and they are with someone, if they could create adultery with you, they can create, or with their significant other, they can create that same adultery with you. And you want to be able to trust people. And if you had made mistakes in your life, go ahead and not let that say that you are the bad person and you're always going to be the bad person. Mistakes happen. Sometimes it's the other person that causes you to feel like, especially if they do not give you the emotional fulfillment, if they ignore your needs and they take care of themselves with other people, and they just put you in a corner where you feel like, how am I supposed to support myself if I cannot go to this person? And just be very mindful of what you say and what you do, and to always look in between the lines that people give you, look in between their words, especially when they say things like, oh, I've had some of the worst relationships ever. It's like I can't ever find a good mate or soulmate, or it's like I can't ever find this. And allow yourself to be like, well, why can't you? You know, if you were to turn inwards and find the love that you want by giving it to yourself, then you would be able to match those that have the same type of energy where they do that for themselves. And I may be ranting about a specific group that I felt was coming through, where they've had people just constantly test and test and test and really manipulate them and take advantage of their love and their ability to do good things for others. And you should not be sharing your bread with these people, these geese. You're giving bread to the wrong goose, is what I'm hearing. But let's go ahead and look at your other charms before I keep going on a rant. So we have this notebook, and it split itself in half, and now it has ended up in the last pile, I think. So you may have felt called to that other pile. But this is talking about creating a new chapter, a way to remind yourself to stay chivalrous, to create the love that you want in your life by going within, and to forgive. Really write the story that you want to move forward. And when something closes, when a chapter closes, begin a new one. You have that ability to keep writing new things. And this is a rainbow on a cloud. So allow yourself to forgive yourself foremost. Forgive yourself when you can't think clearly. Forgive. And you don't need to wait for someone to bring you an apology, because that's just going to prevent you from healing any longer. If you, or those around you that did not have stable relationships that managed to make you think that that's how all relationships are going to work, forgive that perception. And this is a clam with a pearl on top. So clams have this ability to look within to see what is irritating them the most, so that way they can protect themselves. And they have this pearl that they have growing within them, and it's very beautiful. So allow yourself to go within and see that you have a pearl that was made because of the things that have been irritating your external world and manifesting into your internal world, and see how this has been a gift given to you. And then we have this crane earring, and it wants you to start making wishes again. It wants you to think about your dreams, what you wish to obtain in life, how you can listen to those aspirations that you have, and actually start to create the goose you want. Because I see this goose, and it is a crane, but it's making me think of a goose. It's like, how can you allow yourself to fly again after this, where you can listen to what your mind is trying to tell you? And then we have this leaf ring, and this makes me think of healing and the fact that it's not attached to itself. You need to promise yourself that you are going to heal from this, and it's going to have to go in its repetitive intervals. I keep saying that in most of these readings where I'm talking about a repetitive interval where you are constantly looking within, you're listening to your guides and your intuition, and you're trying to see, am I still irritated about this? Is there something about this situation that just keeps making the biggest noise that I'm hearing? And is there something that I can learn from everyone around me? So that way I can have a fulfilling love life. Then we have this owl here, and owls always talk about wisdom, your intuition, seeing truth clearly, and trusting it. Allow yourself to trust it. And this is a clothespin or just a pin where you're trying to hold something together. So if you are trying to keep your emotions, your mental well-being all together where no one can see what's actually going on underneath this armor, there's going to be a lot more friction, and it's closing you up is what it's doing. Is it's closing you up from being able to bring in what you want to bring in. So allow yourself to not pin the issue, to keep it all together all the time. You have to be able to express all different types of emotions. This one normally comes out whenever I have the Hierophant in here, but we have Daniel, who is the angel of marriage. And notice who you are allowing to eat at your table, who challenges your beliefs, who takes from you more than they actually give, and how you can marry different aspects together to where they are balanced and they are in harmony, even if they are far different. You may have had relationships where both families had something totally different, and it was very hard to bring them together because they had different parenting styles, they had different marriage stories, theories on what makes a fulfilling marriage. But choose what makes you feel balanced, what gives you growth, what makes you want to stay with your group and create the world that you want. Really look and see who is at your table. Then we have this seahorse, and it is gorgeous, and they are very playful creatures, and they are very loyal and trustworthy, and they tend to pick up roles that are not normal to the animal kingdom, whereas in our world it's the mothers that carry the child through birth, and then so on and so forth, whereas in the sea world or the seahorse kingdom, the male will take on the role of caring and taking care of others. And it's nurturing. So there's this need to balance your divine feminine and masculine energies that are coming through, and to not let that beat you up, especially if you are a parent who is taking care of children by themselves. So you've had to become the knight for these children, the one that saves them, the one that helps them experience the world for themselves. There's nothing wrong with that. And then over here we have this yellow doll, and it has its strings unraveling. So you are taking action, because it makes me think of the solar plexus chakra. You're taking action towards your heart center and healing it. And you are unraveling all the things that have not healed you, that have prevented you from healing, and you're loosening them from your grasp. And the last thing is we have this orange bead, and so it's like you're trying to thread something together. And this makes me think of taking care of your needs and your desires, and seeing that your needs do have a place to be acknowledged. And how this can really affect your ability to create things when you suppress your needs. And the last thing we have is this nail file. And my favorite thing is probably the faces it has. It's where you're compassionate, you are flirty, you are empathetic to other people, where you find that you're able to grow when you are positive and you are feeling joy, and your world finds balance because you are taking these energies where you're no longer constantly trying to control the relationship or situation. You are letting it flow at its own natural course. But that is your reading, my pile 3. If you enjoyed this content, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you are ready to jump into another pile, if another pile called to you, go ahead, head on over. But I enjoyed doing your reading, guys. Bye. Hello, pile 4. And if you're coming in from another pile, welcome again. Let's see what steps you are ready to take with your crystal icebreaker. And I love the colors on this. So we have Rainbow Aura Quartz, Aura Healing, Magic, and Universal Light. Fused with titanium, the metal of power, Rainbow Aura Quartz is amplified with enhanced healing properties. This stone is able to heal human energy fields by infusing the aura with rainbow fields of light. Rainbow Aura Quartz is a wonderful companion for astral projection and out-of-body experiences, joining you in the beyond while keeping your physical self anchored. Colors have a healing quality in Rainbow Aura Quartz and are able to match the tone to your aura's energy field to repair and release blocks. Living your life in color with this crystal is a must. So what steps are you taking? Well, you're allowing yourself to explore with astral projection, where you are in a deep state of meditative thinking, where your body is no longer in the physical realm and it's almost lifted in another realm to receive guidance and find ways to be nurturing to yourself. So it's these out-of-body experiences that you are ready for, where you're allowing your mind to go and see past the beyond. And even though you are lifting yourself out, you are finding ways to stay grounded in the present, because you don't want to get lost up here. You want to be able to return back. It's matching the tone to your aura's energy. So you're trying to match something that it has a frequency that lines up with yours. And the next couple steps is really allowing yourself, while you are going into this other world, you are repairing and releasing blocks that may be affecting you in your current life. And you're doing this so you can live life with more color. But I am excited that you have this card, and I am excited that you're trying to reach things that you haven't seen physically, but you're able to obtain them by envisioning them. So what are we releasing for good? So we're releasing finances. And no, this does not mean I'm giving away my money. That's not what this is talking about. This is talking about any kind of viewpoint that you have around money that may create these negative cycles of lack, where you feel like you need to save and save and save, or purchase a lot of things. It's like where you're trying to put a lot of materials that are physical around you to feel as if you do have enough. And you are trying to review ways that are much more abundant. So like you stepping out of your body and finding fulfillment from a spiritual connection is what makes you feel more abundant in this situation. And you're not allowing yourself to not really think about, well, not really think about it. You are thinking about your finances. You are thinking about ways to save and plan and not create a negative relationship with it. But you're really tuning in on how to create more wealth, but a healthy way to create this wealth. Wealth can be knowledge. It can be the emotional support that you are able to give to others. It's the ability to just take advantage of the whole buffalo method. I like talking about the whole buffalo method. Oftentimes it shows up in quite a few of my readings where I am talking about a buffalo, but you are finding ways to create and repair blocks by finding ways to save in the right areas of your life. What is worth saving for you? The angel that is going to help support you during this shift where you are stepping into this new is Archangel Gabriel. And what he has to say is you have an important life purpose involving communication and the arts. Please don't allow insecurities to hold you back. I will help you. He's trying to help you release any kind of, it's like you were releasing any kind of insecurities that you had around your finances and needing to really trust your natural talents that you have, where you can create abundance and wealth in unexpected ways, where you are being, and you have to be honest and cooperate with this archangel and express when you do have uncertainties, where you are uncertain if you're going to be able to afford this or make the best sound judgment, make the right purchase. Communicate those worries with this angel. Talk about these fears, any of your hopes, any confusions, any dreams that you're uncertain of, why they came to you. Just ask about them, talk about them openly. Ask for help when you need it. This is one of the great things that Gabriel can do is opening up that channel for communication when you need it most. And it's surrounding yourself with a coach. A life coach would even benefit you greatly. So that way you can continue repairing what needs to be repaired, whether it be like your credit score. I just heard that one come through, repairing and releasing these thoughts behind credit building, or just really just trying to create the world that you're wanting around you, a home, and opening up, ask, how do I obtain this? How much money should I be saving back? It's actually having a clear line of what it is that you need to strive for, rather than saying, I'm never going to obtain that. I'm never going to have that for myself. But meditate, because meditating is when you will find you are more powerful than you think. And you going and talking to a version of yourself. So like, I always like to, so if you've never wrote a message to your future self, it's like, I know my future self has figured this out for me, and I'm thanking them in this moment for providing the abundance that I know that they are going to achieve. And I would like to channel a message from them. What would help me in this moment? And I almost want to say, like, your future self is coming through here in this moment under this new moon. It doesn't need to be around a new moon when this message comes through, but they're letting you know there is something new that is coming for you. And they want you to release any kind of worry you may have that has you trapped with fears and lack. The blessings that you will receive for going through this is you will be much more secure. And I love that this affirmation came out for your reading, because feeling secure and stable makes you a much more successful individual, and you actually see hope in the world around you because you're not going to fall. And we have I am total divine, because you can match this kind of frequency and tune into it to where it is your own tone. You're able to heal quite a bit within your field and the field. When people come into your field, your aura field, they feel that they are secure, that they are safe, that they are prosperous, that you have answers too that you can share, because you have this purpose involving communicating with others and creating things. These things that you create in life. It doesn't necessarily mean art. It can mean fostering something. It's just really, it can be anything. And then I am kind to myself. Yes, be kind to yourself. When you have found that you have saved everything that you could possibly save for this adventure, this new step you are in, remember to reward yourself, because your brain needs to see some kind of reward for the efforts. And when you are investing in others, it is important to see that your investments do not get squandered. Like, it's like you're wasting your money away. They want you to see how this situation will be rewarding by taking care of yourself now and being kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself during this time. And what is going to remain? Because we talked about what isn't going to remain. We talked about how you are going to start letting go negative views around wealth, abundance, happiness. But the Ace of Coins says you're going to be open to opportunities, new beginnings. You're going to be open to new health routines, anything that makes you feel healthier, anything that helps you meditate and invite the type of life that you are wanting to bring into the present. And you're looking at ways that you can really build and sustain your income. You're thinking about your home and those that live in it and what you want to protect. But you're also going to look at new different ways to work. Not just job, not just your career, but you're looking at different ways to work for the things that you want physically, working for it. You're planning and you're researching more, and you're allowing yourself to evolve into a path that is the right direction. You're no longer entertaining all these other things where you may have been splurging your money on things that do not return value back. You are actually looking towards things that send you to the right direction. It's these long-term goals, the consistent actions that you will be taking over time. That is what's going to stay, and that's how you are going to build on your wealth. And it's like you're looking at what will pay back down the line. That keeps really talking about, it's like, what would I do for my body right now that will reward me back down in time? Well, here's the one thing that would benefit you greatly is you will not have to go to the doctor as much whenever you get sick, because when you're working on your body, you're building and developing your immune system so that way it can actually protect your body, make it more secure, make you feel as if you are strong like the divine. But it's going to pay back down the line when you start communicating what it is that you need, what you need to release. And one of the things, since I was talking about self-care for your body, I almost forgot about how your archangel is going to come in. Oh, I already talked about it. Meditate. You're more powerful than you think. Did I already talk about this? Okay. Sorry, guys. My brain gets all over the place sometimes. But you're thinking clearly, and you see that there is power behind your mind and how it creates what's the word? It creates the tree that you wish to grow from. It creates the legacy that you are trying to pass down. Meditating helps you connect with a part of yourself that recognizes that you are still stronger in the present moment than you thought you were. And it really truly it lets you see what kind of connection you have. But let's go ahead and look at your Scrabble, and then we'll dive into your charms. I have been very inspired by these pick-a-pile readings. And you're probably like, B.O., are you telling me I have bad odor? No, I am not. You can smell money. And I thought there was another pile that ended up with more charms, but you are the pile that wins all the charms. You were so prosperous with all these charms. So your body ages with the moon. Your body ages with the sun. Your body ages constantly. And the cycles that you put yourself through matter. Notice how you are utilizing your energy during low tides, or take low tides as when you should be resting and recovering and taking care of yourself, healing. And high tide energy, you want to utilize that so that way you can grow and almost get ahead of what it is that you're trying to get. But never mix the two up, because it will halt everything for you. You won't even grow, it feels like. And if I had an L and a K and a C, it'd be like blockages. Look towards the blockages that are separating you from being this total divine individual, where you are divinity itself. But look towards this, how age plays a role, what it is that you're trying to invest in, or what you're trying to manifest during the moon cycles, and be kind to yourself during times where there's a low tide. Be very kind and allow yourself to communicate. But let's look at your charms, because you have, I think, all of them. So this is a doll, and it has an orange head, and it's blocked from its needs and its desires. And your guides want you to figure out what is being blocked, what you need to let go, so you can start taking care of these needs. So if you're wanting a job so that way you can be financial, make sure you are taking care of your needs, like you're eating and you're taking water and you're sleeping. And then have a lot more respect for yourself. Be kind to yourself, but be respectful to yourself. Be respectful to your energy. Just be respectful. And then I'll go ahead and I'll pick this up. And this is a gravestone. There's something here that needs to be buried in order for you to move forward or break off, since this is kind of breaking off. But this also has another connotation where there's someone that you have loved that has passed on from this life, and they're coming through to let you know that you are going to be financially stable, that you are going to receive all sorts of different opportunities and new beginnings that will take care of you. And they want you to let go of any strain that you may have had, or if you may have felt like because of how they lived, that was how you were going to live. And this is a dragon. And so what are you protecting? What are you guarding really close right now? What is the treasure that you are not wanting someone to come in and steal or take from you? And how can you allow yourself to transform, because these look like butterfly wings on this dragon, allow yourself to transform when you feel like being this aggressive, fire-breathing dragon is going to prevent people from coming close to you, that you do have something to offer. And this is the sun, and it's telling you to stay positive, always. Always stay positive, even when things are dark, you are uncertain of the future, when the sun isn't even out. Just allow yourself to see that there's something that you can look up to. There's always hope. There's always another door. There's always people that can surround you, that can assist you, as long as you're willing to open up. You may have been called to another one of my piles because my grandfather's watch ended up in that pile. And here we have the monocle that goes to that watch. I believe it may have been the last one that I did. Pile 3, I think. I could be wrong, guys. But think clearly. And this makes me think of the Monopoly man. Think about the investments that would bring more back to you. Like renting versus owning, or owning and then using what you own as a rental to buy a bigger home. It's those kind of things, finding ways to refinance, but looking really closely at what can provide that for you. And then we have a dollar bill here, and that was just another confirmation from Spirit that you are about to receive abundance. You are about to receive the things that you need because you have been meditating. You have been clear with your desires. You have been very clear with what it is that you would like to obtain. And by going out within the out-of-body experiences, you're like, okay, now I know how I need to do this. And then we have this, it's like an authentic portrait, but she's looking to her left, looking over her shoulder. And she's trying to figure out what will make her have more gems, what would make her more prosperous, what would make her more feminine too, because this reminds me of divine feminine energy. How you can feel secure in your own body. Then we have this charm, and it says Wanderlust. A strong desire or urge to wander, explore, or travel the world. Okay, so yeah, you really do want to travel, not where you are. And you're trying to step into this new version of yourself where when you have the finances, you can go and travel where you want to go. That you don't limit yourself to what is in front of you. And this is a scorpion, and it says, friend, you will find friends in unlikely places that you thought would probably sting you. You may have thought that there was a person around you that you could not approach. But when you start talking about your problems or start talking about your dreams, this person finds a connection with you, and they want to help you. And they want you, and because this does remind me of Scorpio energy, they want you to find ways where you don't feel like you need to manipulate or control this situation. Allow yourself to release it so you can accept a lot more. And this is a ring, but this is the high tides and low tides I was talking about during moon cycles. Being that force within the center where you stay balanced and not let these cycles pull you every which way. You're making a promise to do that for yourself. Then we have this little witch. And this is trusting your ability to connect with the divine whether it be through tarot or scrying, tapping into your dreams. It's finding ways to be more mystical and creative. And then this is a random tool that probably belonged to my son that I ended up picking up one too many times and put in my charm basket. But anyway, so this is a tool that is being given to you, so that way you may be able to tighten it, tighten your finances, fine-tune your body, just really be able to either tighten or loosen up what needs to be let go. And this is another ring, and it is very gorgeous. It is very bright, and it is very abundant. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so 7 on here, reflecting on the promises that you have made, especially the really big ones that you have made, and seeing how they have helped you become more knowledgeable with the people that you were making promises to, or even the promises you have made to yourself. Which ones left the biggest impact on you? And then this is a claw, or you can take it as a moon or a bull's nose ring. So when you find that you are being very stubborn, communicate why you have to be very stubborn with your money, why you can't just give it so freely, because you are trying to go on a new adventure. You are trying to save up for either a home, you're trying to save up for the ability to get a better job, a better car, a vehicle, whatever the case may be. But you're trying to find ways where you're not letting others clamp down and pick up what it is that you are working on. And you're looking at your cycles. When you find that you're in low energy, do you find that when people come up to you, they wait till you're so tired and they're like, hey, can I borrow $5? Or hey, can I borrow $20? Or hey, can I borrow? And it's like you're too tired to even fight with them, so you give them $1. It's like that kind of feeling, knowing when people take advantage of you. And then this one is, it's a pink bead, and it's you trying to thread something through it that you can understand, because this makes me think of the crown chakra, where you have gained all the knowledge that you could possibly be received, and now you're trying to string it together and make something of it. But that is your reading, my dear pile fours. I really enjoyed this, and I hope you did too. Let me know how it resonates in the comments. And if you want to see more content like this, please like, comment, and subscribe. And just, if you know anybody that is going through this, please share. Sharing is caring. But I'm going to go ahead and end the reading here, guys. Bye.